Violence is rarely the answer, but when it is, it's the only answer.
I've never had a time in my professional life where Americans have been more concerned about their own self-protection.
So, if you've been following me for any time, you know that I am known for a quote that goes like this: violence is rarely the answer, but when it is, it's the only answer. The first part everybody loves, because everybody knows when violence isn't the answer, if you're staying socialized. The difficult part is the second part. Those rare times when violence is definitely the answer. Today, I'm going to visit a law enforcement incident. Happened in 1998. Very famous. It's used in training all the time. But the reason I wanted to go over it is because this absolutely shows that one time where you don't have a choice. The only thing that's going to work is violence. And how some people have trouble getting to that point, So again, this is a very sad story. This sheriff, his name was Kyle Dinkheller. He was with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office out of Georgia. He makes a car stop to a truck, and the car stop has within it a guy named, what was his name? His name was Brannon is his last name. Andrew Howard Brannon. There it is, Andrew Howard Brannon. And Andrew Howard Brannon was a former Vietnam vet. He was an artillery officer. He definitely had been identified as somebody who had PTSD, really before we were doing much about it. In 98, there wasn't a lot. He was classified by the VA 2 years earlier as being completely dysfunctional due to bipolar and PTSD. So that was what he was dealing with. What I want you to do is watch the car stop. And we talk about social interaction all the time and watching what people actually do rather than what they say. I think this will really highlight that. So let's go ahead and start the video. Okay, so listen, this goes on for about 3 minutes. I'm going to be talking about it periodically. He has the man pull over. What you see, if you see any movement in the back of the truck once Andrew gets out of the car, Andrew Brannon gets out of the car, I'm pretty sure it's a dog that was in the car. But watch how the car stop goes down. Watch how the officer handles the information.
Driver, step back here to me. Come on back here for me. Come on back. How you doing today? Good. Come on back here. Keep your hands out of your pocket. Keep your hands out of your pocket, sir. Sir.
So already he's not paying attention. Already he's, just being belligerent. He puts his hands in his pockets. You're about to see him, but he's acting kind of goofy. So far the officer is still engaging him verbally, and now it progresses.
Here I am, shoot my fucking ass. Come here. Here I am. Sir, come here. 37 radio 1078. Come here, sir.
Now
sir,
that's where
back.
it goes.
Sir, get back. Now, get back. Get back. Sir, get back now. No. Get back. Fuck you. Sir, get back. No. I'm telling you now. Get back, sir. Sir.
You can hear it in the officer's voice. He's very uncomfortable with this situation. He doesn't know. The man's not armed at this time or anything. He's coming at him, charging him, but then stopping, and he's not responding to any of the officer's verbal. Now, I got to be very clear, too. This is not me making any comments on the law enforcement aspect of things. This is the human nature aspect of things. It just happens to be a law enforcement event. So I'm not going to be talking about necessarily his tactics or what he did. Many other people have looked at that, and again, I am not a law enforcement officer, and I don't really comment on people's SOPs unless I'm asked. So I just want to make that very clear. But look at this interaction.
Get back! I am a goddamn Vietnam combat veteran. Step back. And I am not. Sir, fuck you. Sir, step back now. Get back. Get back. Get back now.
Okay, now the thing is, he just identified himself as a Vietnam vet. Now, again, you can have delusional people that sit there and they can claim to be a vet or something. Unfortunately, this happens to be actually true. And this guy was a decorated Vietnam vet. It's a tragic story about this guy. You talk about slipping through the system as far as mental health and all those issues. And we've got tons of examples. I think if anything, our country really needs to just grab a hold of right now is the mental health issue. I know everybody loves to blame guns. Everybody loves to blame tools. But again, that's not the issue. The issue is mentally unsound people that are not getting treatment. And this guy deserved to get treatment when you read his combat history, but does not excuse what happens.
1078, radio 1018. Sir, step back now. Sir, get back now. 16.
Okay, so he is given a verbal. He's got his gun out. The cop guy has his gun out. Now he backs off. Kyle backs off because he sees the guy in the car and he's telling him to go. At this point, a lot of, in the training aspect of things, this is where law enforcement officers say, hey, this is where you have to start, looking at the situation. The whole point of this video is I want you to see to the extent that this officer goes to try not to kill this man, to try not to engage him, not to use his firearm. Okay, he really doesn't want to do it. And, he can tell the guy is not well, and he's very uncomfortable with the idea.
Sir, get back! Get out of the car now! Sir, get out of the car! I would be in my life! Get back here now! Get to your vehicle! Put the gun down! Well, I got him now.
Did you hear that? Put the gun down. Now let's get to the point to where he literally knows the man has a gun. Okay? But he's still trying to talk to him. He's still trying to use social at this point.
I need help! Put the gun down! Put it down now! Put the gun down! Drop the gun now!
Here it goes. Okay, he is firing at him. He has an M1 Grand rifle, very effective rifle. He knows how to use it, used it in war, and he's going after this officer. This officer's returning with his semi-automatic. I believe it's a Glock that he's firing. But this guy goes right back into his combat modes. He's in his 60s at this time, but watch his movement. Watch how he feels extremely comfortable doing this. He does end up getting shot, but it doesn't stop him at all.
Stop now!
He's been shot. You hear the officer. That's the officer you hear. It's his radio. Now watch him. Look, he's been shot and he's going for a reload right now. He is not stopping. He is right back in his mode. He's probably feeling like he's in his 20s again, back in Vietnam. And just watch how he continues to be very comfortable using his assault tactics. Here, this is where he puts it in. The fatal shot was in the eye of the officer that ended up killing him. And he just drives off. Okay. All right, enough. We just see him just take off. So the point of this video is really, it's an example of that rare time when the only thing that's going to work for you is a tool of violence. Now, a law officer has a higher threshold that he has to follow. This officer went above and beyond that way. Um, some criticize the officer as being a coward, saying the man returned fire. The man is in there. I think that's a harsh statement. I think, I don't think people understand what it's like to shoot at another human being or be shot at. I think it was a realization. I think the officer probably couldn't believe it was happening. It went from this crazy guy dancing around to a guy going in, literally grabbing a rifle and engaging him. But it's just a sad story all around. They did a documentary on this. Again, as I told you, it's used as a training video for lots of law enforcement groups. And they talk about, hey, there's time when you have to get on the trigger. And it's the same thing that you and I always have to remember too. There are times where you have to stop worrying and focusing on what they're saying, and you got to pay attention to what they're doing, because people will give you clues and they'll let you know this guy gave more than a clue. He literally went back to his truck and just went back in and grabbed his weapon, and then we saw the result of that. So again, in the comments, listen, if you have a question, that's fine. Don't take an opportunity to talk about the officer and the tactics and all that other stuff. It's been done many times before. That's not the point of this video. This man lost his life. He had a family. They did a documentary on him. He sounded like he was a great guy. And honestly, I have sympathy for Brandon. Brandon ended up being executed by the state of Georgia. I believe it was 20 years after he was executed by lethal injection, and probably deserved it. But we as a society failed him. It's one of our veterans, and we just let him slip through the cracks with just piss poor healthcare and piss poor mental health care. If you want to read about this, Wikipedia has a really good breakdown of it. Gives you all the background. But the video itself is just something that I wanted you to visually see, because again, there's nothing harder than just having to understand that this is it. I'm really in it. I need to use a tool of violence, and I got to be comfortable with it. Whether it's you, your brain and body, or you with a tool, something like a firearm, a knife, a club, you have to understand when it's time to stop talking and get to work. All right. Until next time, please, if you want more information like this, go to timlarkin.com, sign up for your free masterclass, start putting together your self-protection strategy. We talk about this idea. We talk about when violence would ever be the correct answer. And it's just changing the lives of a lot of people. The feedback I'm getting is great. I'm very happy that you all like it. It's absolutely free, timlarkin.com. Just give us your email address and we will start giving you information right away. Also, please subscribe to the channel and share the channel. We are growing fast, and it's because of you. But we need help. We're not getting help from YouTube, as you guys can tell. So listen, folks, until next time, stay safe and think about some of the principles that we've been talking about here, and think about how to minimize the chance of violence entering your life. All the best.